What's up everybody, my name is Dwight and welcome back to GeForce Garage. Today we built a Naruto-themed rig for UFC welterweight and anime fan Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Hey guys, I'm Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, UFC fighter. Been gaming for as long as I can remember, starting back in the late 80s when my grandparents, they had an Atari. Playing Pitfall with my siblings. We pretty much had every console known to mankind. You name it, we had it. But I remember in the mid to late 90s playing Doom on a floppy disk. We played it 9 hours straight, didn't get any of our homework done. It was pretty crazy, but I kind of put down the back burner a little bit and focused more on the console, but I'm getting back into the PC, mostly PUBG, play some Call of Duty, some Fortnite. I started streaming on Twitch, so I want to take my streaming to the next level. I hope NVIDIA will help me out with that, and I'm excited to see what they have in store for me.
Before we get into the details of the finished rig, let's talk about the history behind the project. Back in 2019, Wonderboy was in San Jose for the Crunchyroll Expo, so we brought him into the GeForce Garage to talk about a custom gaming rig. We had some basic concepts based on some of his favorites like One Punch Man and Ninja Scroll, but in the end, we settled on Naruto. Once we knew the theme, we worked with fellow fan and modder Joe Mercado of Titan Rig to finish out the concept. Let's go hear from him.
Hi, I'm Joe Mercado. I'm the Custom Services Manager over at TitanRig.com and kind of a weeb. Ever since I was a little kid, anime has been a huge part of my life. Every Saturday morning, it would be waking up to watch shows like Pokemon, Digimon, and Metabots. The whole idea of you're too old for cartoons never really stuck, and I'm still very much about it. When NVIDIA approached me about building a PC for a UFC fighter, at first I was conflicted. How do you build a PC for a guy who kicks in people's skulls for a living? But then NVIDIA was like, Joe, this PC is for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and just like you, he's a huge fan of anime. This was a massive relief to me, and we sat down, kicked around some ideas, and we ultimately decided on Naruto. My initial idea behind the build was if you knew the show, you'd understand the references. But if you didn't, then you think it was just a Japanese-inspired piece of art. The overall theme behind the build is actually meant to mimic the Ichiraku ramen house that's favorited by Naruto. During the show, it does change quite a bit, but we use references from the earlier episodes. The mod itself is based on the Fractal Design R6 chassis. I took the front panel and added some maple hardwood paneling, then using my Silhouette Cameo, I cut out a vinyl stencil and painted on the Seal of the Nine-Tailed Fox using some acrylic paint. I ended up replacing the shiny chrome feet the case came with. They just didn't feel like they belonged with the build. So instead, I milled out some cherry hardwood ones and provided rubber inserts. This will probably never be noticed, but I figured it was a nice touch. The default R6 does come with a windowed side panel. However, I just didn't feel like it was big enough. So using my Shapeoko CNC machine, I was actually able to make the window larger to show off more of the interior. I ended up replacing the existing PSU shroud by laminating a piece of walnut and curly maple. Once those pieces were dry, I took them over to the CNC machine and milled out the final panel. The AIO cover actually got the same treatment. Instead of trying to sleeve the 12-pin adapter, we decided to hide it instead using a shroud made of maple and walnut. This also served as a support bracket. The R6 also has a large open area at the front. Normally this would be occupied by drives or water cooling, but to fill it in I decided to paint it white and we added some partner logos in there to make it look more like a wall scroll. For the top of the build, the entire thing was 3D printed. This was done on my Raise 3D N2 Plus and took well over 300 hours of total print time. Once the prints were done, I had to post-process them, which meant sanding, filler primer, more sanding, more filler primer until I got a smooth surface. Now with the pieces painted, they didn't quite look right. They were too shiny, too new. I took a series of acrylic paints, watered them down, and kept applying it until they looked nice and grungy. I then continued to accent the top panel by adding in a series of wooden dowels and a guardrail. To add some functionality to the top panel, I added 4 USB ports and an illuminated power button. Using my resin 3D printer, I made a mini Japanese lantern that hangs off the side of the case. I went with resin over traditional filament 3D printing due to the complex geometry and the extruded kanji. From the very beginning, we wanted Hokage Mountain to be represented somewhere on this build. This is where we brought in Ron Lee Christensen. Ron is no stranger to GeForce Garage, and with his talents we were able to bring Hokage Mountain to life. As for specs, we started with an Asus ROG Strix motherboard along with 32 gigs of HyperX memory. For storage, we had the Kingston A1000 M.2 drive along with the Western Digital black 2TB drive. Pushing the graphics is an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3080, along with an i7, which is cooled by an Asus Ryujin AIO cooler, along with some Fractal Design RGB fans. All this is powered off of the Asus Thor 850W PSU.
Well, Joe, really amazing work. Let's pack this computer up, ship it to Wonderboy's place, and check in with him to see what he thinks.
All right, guys, the package has arrived. My brother Tony and my buddy Will are gonna set it up for me. I can't wait. Come on in. Oh, what? This is perfect. This is perfect. I'm wearing the whole Naruto getup, and my PC is Naruto right now. This is like the ramen noodle shop right here. What? They have the Hokage faces on there. You know that took them forever to make that. The attention to detail on this bad boy is just amazing. They got the Ichiraku ramen shop, the Kurama seal on the front, even got the water tank on the top where Sasuke and Naruto fought. This thing runs amazing. I mean, so fast. I just can't wait to start streaming. My favorite game right now is Warzone, so that's what I've been playing while I stream. I love to stream because it's a way for me to get back to my fans, you know, hang out with them, talk with them, and to be able to do that on such an amazing PC is awesome.
Stephen, thank you for giving us the opportunity to create your dream computer. And a big thank you to Joe for bringing that dream to life. I'm always excited when we can work on a project with you. Thanks to HyperX, Asus, and Fractal Designs for helping out with this project. And if there's anyone you think we should work with, leave a comment down below and let us know. And while you're down there, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you for the next one.